Narrated by Abu Qatada. We set out along with the Prophet peace be upon him during the year of the Battle of Hunayn, and when we faced the enemy, the Muslims with the exception of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and some of his companions retreated before the enemy. I saw one of the pagans overpowering one of the Muslims, so I struck the pagan from behind his neck, causing his armor to be cut off. The pagan headed towards me and pressed me so forcibly that I felt as if I was dying. Then death took him over and he released me. Afterwards I followed Umar and said to him, "What is wrong with the people?" He said, "It is the order of Allah." Then the Muslims returned to the battle after the flight, and after overcoming the enemy the Prophet sat and said, "Whoever had killed an infidel and has an evidence to this issue, will have the salb," means the belonging of the deceased, e.g. clothes, arms, horse, etc. I stood up and said, "Who will be my witness?" and then sat down. Then the Prophet peace be upon him repeated his question. Then the Prophet peace be upon him said the same for the third time. I got up and said, "Who will be my witness?" and then sat down. The Prophet peace be upon him asked his former question again. So I got up. The Prophet peace be upon him said, "What is the matter, O Abu Qatada?" So I narrated the whole story. A man said, "Abu Qatada has spoken the truth, and the salb of the deceased is with me, so please compensate Abu Qatada on my behalf." Abu Bakr said, "No. By Allah, it will never happen that the Prophet peace be upon him will leave a lion of Allah who fights for the sake of Allah and his apostle and give his spoils to you." The Prophet peace be upon him said, "Abu Bakr has spoken the truth. Give it the spoils back to him, O man." So he gave it to me and I bought a garden in the land of Banu Salama with it, means the spoils, and that was the first property I got after embracing Islam. Narrated by Abu Qatada. When it was the day of the Battle of Hunayn, I saw a Muslim man fighting with one of the pagans, and another pagan was hiding himself behind the Muslim in order to kill him. So I hurried towards the pagan who was hiding behind the Muslim to kill him, and he raised his hand to hit me, but I hit his hand and cut it off. That man got hold of me and pressed me so hard that I was afraid that I would die. Then he knelt down and his grip became loose and I pushed him and killed him. The Muslims, accepting the Prophet peace be upon him and some of his companions, started fleeing, and I too fled with them. Suddenly I met Umar bin al-Khattab amongst the people and I asked him, "What is wrong with the people?" He said, "It is the order of Allah." Then the people returned to Allah's Messenger peace be upon him after defeating the enemy. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him said, "Whoever produces a proof that he has killed an infidel, will have the spoils of the killed man." So I got up to look for an evidence to prove that I had killed an infidel, but I could not find anyone to bear witness for me, so I sat down. Then it came to my mind that I should speak of it, and I mentioned the case to Allah's Messenger peace be upon him. A man from the persons who were sitting with him, means the Prophet, said, "The arms of the deceased one whom he, means Abu Qatada, has mentioned, are with me, so please compensate him for it, means the spoils." Abu Bakr said, "No, Allah's Messenger peace be upon him will not give it, means the spoils, to a weak humble person from Quraysh and leave one of Allah's lions who fights on behalf of Allah and his apostle." Allah's Messenger peace be upon him then got up and gave that spoils to me, and I bought with it a garden which was the first property I got after embracing Islam. Narrated by Abu Musa. When the Prophet peace be upon him had finished from the Battle of Hunayn, he sent Abu Emir at the head of an army to Autas. He, means Abu Emir, met Durayd bin as-Suma, and Durayd was killed and Allah defeated his companions. The Prophet peace be upon him sent me with Abu Emir. Abu Emir was shot at his knee with an arrow which a man from Jushm had shot and fixed into his knee. I went to him and said, "O uncle, who shot you?" He pointed me out his killer, saying, "That is my killer who shot me with an arrow." So I headed towards him and overtook him, and when he saw me, he fled, and I followed him and started saying to him, "Won't you be ashamed? Won't you stop?" So that person stopped, and we exchanged 2 hits with the swords and I killed him. Then I said to Abu Emir, "Allah has killed your killer." He said, "Take out this arrow." So I removed it, and water oozed out of the wound. He then said, "O son of my brother, convey my compliments to the Prophet peace be upon him, and request him to ask Allah's forgiveness for me." Abu Emir made me his successor in commanding the people, means troops. He survived for a short while and then died. Later I returned and entered upon the Prophet peace be upon him at his house, and found him lying in a bed made of stalks of date palm leaves knitted with ropes, and on it there was bedding. The strings of the bed had their traces over his back and sides. Then I told the Prophet peace be upon him about our and Abu Emir's news and how he had said, "Tell him to ask for Allah's forgiveness for me." The Prophet peace be upon him asked for water, performed ablution, and then raised hands, saying, "O Allah's forgive Ubayd, Abu Emir." At that time I saw the whiteness of the Prophet's armpits. The Prophet peace be upon him then said, "O Allah, make him," means Abu Emir, on the day of resurrection, superior to many of your human creatures. I said, "Will you ask Allah's forgiveness for me?" On that, the Prophet peace be upon him said, "O Allah, forgive the sins of Abdullah bin Qais and admit him to a nice entrance," means paradise on the day of resurrection. Abu Burda said, one of the prayers was for Abu Emir and the other was for Abu Musa, means Abdullah bin Qais. Narrated by Salama. The Prophet peace be upon him came to me while there was an effeminate man sitting with me, and I heard him, means the effeminate man, saying to Abdullah bin Abu Umayyah, "O Abdullah, see if Allah should make you conquer Taif tomorrow, then take the daughter of Ghilan in marriage, as she is so beautiful and fat that she shows 4 folds of flesh when facing you, and 8 when she turns her back." The Prophet peace be upon him then said, "These effeminate men should never enter upon you, O women." Ibn Jurayy said, that effeminate man was called Hit. Narrated by Hisham. The above narration and added extra, that at that time, the Prophet was besieging Taif. Narrated by Abdullah bin Amr. When Allah's Messenger peace be upon him besieged Taif and could not conquer its people, he said, "We will return to Medina if Allah wills." That distressed the companions of the Prophet peace be upon him, and they said, "Shall we go away without conquering it?" means the fort of Taif. Once the Prophet peace be upon him said, "Let us return." Then the Prophet said to them, "Fight tomorrow." They fought and many of them got wounded, whereupon the Prophet peace be upon him said, "We will return to Medina tomorrow if Allah wills." That delighted them, whereupon the Prophet peace be upon him smiled. The sub-narrator, Sufyan, said once, "The Prophet smiled.